So this video might be a little bit different than some of the rest where I'm just strictly teaching YouTube, but this is the most important part of YouTube. It took me so long to figure out YouTube, and what I have actually learned is that my success story is what makes YouTube work. You can't just go down and copy people and see that it works. You have to niche down and understand and love the things you're talking about. So this will actually be one of the most important YouTube videos that I've ever done. Yes, we're gonna talk about the success stories. Here's 48 checks, for a couple $100,000, and it's not from YouTube paying me in AdSense. I have 6 channels that are monetized now, and I just got my AdSense check for $799. So with about 30,000 subscribers combined in all of my YouTube channels, that's not what's paying me. My niche, the love for YouTube, obviously doing real estate is paying me hundreds of thousands of dollars in checks, and I'm not even having to do the work. So the success story, I'm gonna go all the way back so that you understand exactly how to leverage this platform, because it's not just going up and talking about things. You have to be passionate, you have to understand SEO, and you have to speak to people that are just like you and wanting that story. So I'll be doing a deep dive in exactly how you should be, sculpting your YouTube channel for whatever you're doing. Obviously, for real estate is what I do, so that you can capitalize on your YouTube channel. And we're getting after it right now. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Wilkie with the Channel Junkies. In this channel, we teach real estate professionals, entrepreneurs exactly how to grow their own YouTube channels so that they can change their life and create their own success story. If that's exactly what you want to learn, make sure you tap that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. Hey, follow us on Clubhouse. You can also follow us here. We go live Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come ask us anything, anytime. So I don't flash these checks around just to show you, hey, look at me and all the money, but it's the story of how I unveiled YouTube for my business that's absolutely worth sitting here and listening to, because it's going to help you understand of how to really use YouTube. See, going back, and it's only about 18, 20 months, 22 months ago when I went down this journey, and what happened was I got into real estate, so I was brand new, and guess what? Even further behind the 8 ball, I was brand new to the market. I was not from Portland, Oregon. I'm from northern Idaho, so I didn't know anybody. And so what did I do? I went to the drawing board, I went to social media, and I started studying what are the top real estate agents doing. And what I found out, the top real estate agents were talking about things that work, and it wasn't working. So yes, you might realize this, and there's so many shiny objects, and do this and do that and do this video. You got to go understand that, and I went down the wrong path. A lot of this stuff doesn't work. So you really have to look at that person's business and see where it's coming from, because as they were talking about doing this video on that platform, I would go and look at their business and see that they were still cold calling, doing open houses and paying for leads to try and make it work. So what happened was I did the Gary Vee method. I was shooting videos every single day about restaurants, shops, bars in the local area. And it started getting big. And you're like, whoa, okay, digital mayor stuff, right? So I started doing that. And I'm only looking at myself because I kept coming out of focus. And I went down this path, and it was Instagram, Facebook, and I was doing it all the time. I did a 30 for 30 of my favorite spots in my town of Beaverton, Oregon in 30 days. So I'm walking around, people are noticing me. And I had the local police department reach out, and they wanted to shoot videos. I shot videos for 2 different schools. I thought I literally broke the code. It was gonna erupt. Months and months and months later, nothing happened. And to this day, still 24 months removed, I've still received 0 phone calls or business from any of that. It is painful. And as I look at real estate agents or people who aren't even real estate teaching this stuff, it's hogwash. And I'm so glad that I went down that path, because now I learned it, and I still hear it to this day that you need to go out and shoot a restaurant video and a listing video, and that it just doesn't work, especially for this platform. So the success came from all of this hardship, and that's what I want you to understand is you're going to have to put in a lot of work, and you're going to have to shoot a lot of videos. You can do them exactly the way that I teach, because it does work. But if YouTube long form content isn't your gig, then it's going to have to start going on other platforms, short form, and you're just going to shoot videos every day. Like, that's the only way you figure this out. And the analysis by paralysis on no matter what you're doing and what platform is what's holding you back. And the other thing, people talk about the equipment, right? So when I started shooting videos, I really just started using my phone. But what happens with that? You get a bunch of notifications, you get calls, you forget to turn it to airplane mode. It's not wide enough, it's shaky. There's all these barriers there that just make for bad videos because now you're always getting distracted. It's not wide enough. And what does everybody always do? They look over at the screen at themselves, and so their entire video is like this. They're not even looking at the lens, and it's very awkward. And so I actually recommend not using a phone and not using a forward-facing screen, something that where you can look at yourself, because even if you tell yourself don't look, you will constantly through your video. You'll constantly look over and make sure that you're in the screen, and you're going to be looking up, and it makes an awkward video. So I've done it. That's the pain points. Again, the success story comes from the pain points. So there's really no questions you can ask about growing on YouTube that I can't answer with failing miserably. So let's back it back up, because you have to understand that the love and the passion that comes through. I can talk about YouTube for real estate all day long because I've just documented this process, and I've created these channels now that, I'm getting paychecks, and these are from 8 different states and growing. So I can do this in any market, and I am. And so now when I realized what I needed to do was get onto YouTube, I was like, okay, well now I get on there because I figured out keyword research. And in fact, this gal, Karen Carr, she was over on the East Coast. I saw her doing a few of these videos, and they were working. So the only thing that came about that was she had 2 or 3 videos that really worked well, the pros and cons and like a cost of living in her city. And then she went back to the home buying process and the escrow process and that kind of, and they didn't get any views. And I started thinking, why the hell would I do that? If someone's looking at the escrow process, that means they're already in escrow. They have an offer accepted, and now they have a real estate agent. So there was just things that crossed my mind of like, this can't be right. So I went down this path of 6, 7, 8 months of YouTube. And you can actually look on my Living in Portland, Oregon channel. There's gaps where I didn't put a video for a month or 2 because it's that freaking hard. I wasn't getting views. I wasn't getting subscribers. I wasn't getting any phone calls. And so this is where the success started happening. I was freaking diligent. I was going to not cold call, door knock, and I was not going to do traditional real estate. I was going to figure out this YouTube thing because it wasn't done on a scale that I had seen anywhere. Even though some other agents have been doing it for years, it's more about like the home sales and listings, and they weren't really getting business. When I started looking into their business, they were getting it from Facebook leads, Zillow leads, and cold calling, and they were still in production heavily, not doing much. And so that's when I was like, okay, there's something with this that's not working, right? And so I started looking at the YouTube, for like Portland, Oregon, and the top videos that were getting millions and millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views were the ones that were talking about the cities and the suburbs and maybe the 10 worst areas. Those were the things that people really wanted. And I actually started doing videos about like Portland real estate, and I'm the realtor, and I'm the local, and I'm this. I wasn't. I was brand new there. And I'm the shittiest realtor of all time. That's my motto. I've only closed 2 deals, but obviously, we brought in $61.3 million in real estate sales just in 2020 alone. So, and I brought that in 100% with YouTube, the success story, right? But it never would have happened if I didn't understand that YouTube is 100% talking about the things you know, like, and are passionate about. That is what makes YouTube. If you want to be successful on YouTube, I don't care what your channel is, you talk about the things that you can talk about all day because you're passionate about it. And what happened to me? I was trying to do the Portland real estate, and I was trying to do the local stuff, and it wasn't me. I had an idea one day. Moving to Portland, Oregon, which is a huge keyword. Basically, I use living in or moving to in almost all of my titles, and I don't give a shit what I put before, after. The rest is all just to get people to click. But that is what people want to know when they're moving to your city. So I did Moving to Portland, Oregon, my story. And I was just brutally honest, and I was like, look, you're moving to Portland, Oregon? I just did it a year ago. I'm going to tell you it's one of the hardest places in the world to move to because not only is it big, but you have Northeast and Southeast Portland. That is 2 completely different worlds. And you want to live on the west side of Portland, the Beavertons, the suburbs? Now you're talking about 2 different countries. So it is so difficult, and you can literally move on one side of the street and be in a completely different school zone. So I come from a small town. The other thing that really shocked me was the daycare scenes. Oh my God, it's expensive, and it's going to take you months to figure it out. I'm going to tell you everything that shocked me, the stuff I can't stand here in Portland, everything you need to know before you make your move to Portland, Oregon. And what happened? That video blew up. I just told my stories. And if you're from an area, honestly, you've been there your whole life, you have a crutch right now because you take everything for granted. All the back roads, all the things people need to know, where the Costco's are, where the lines are, what your city has, and that's, I'll get into this, right? I'll get into what you can do for videos, but you guys have this crutch and you get on camera, you don't even know what to say. And so I understood. And if you are in an area, especially a real estate agent, and you don't have to be brand new there a year ago, but you just have to, if you're new there maybe a decade ago, 10 years ago, now you can start comparing and contrasting. People are moving from all over the world, really. We're getting a lot of people from out of the country moving to some of these markets we're in. So you have a story of moving there, right? You have a story of living in different areas. And you, as a local who've been there your whole life, you have the most inside information of all the different segments, sections, cities, suburbs, who lives here, who doesn't live here, and you need to be brutally honest. And this is the thing that I've captured, is that I'm more honest about these areas than everybody else, where everything's perfect for most realtors. That city's perfect, that city's perfect, that city's perfect, that street's perfect, that tree is perfect. Stop it. Be honest. I don't live in this area downtown Houston because the houses, they're like little 2-1, 3-1s. The lots are about this skinny. I got 3 kids who like to rip it on BMX bikes, shoot hoops. There's no room for that shit. So I'm out in the suburbs. But if you want the walkability, you want to go around the corner, I'm telling you some of the best. I go down there. I hit those brewskis, those bars, those craft bars, all the bakeries and the lunch spots, because that's some of the best food you'll find. When you think of Houston and the food scene being one of the best in the nation, it's right down here. I just I don't want that. I need a little bit more space. I like the suburbs. I like, the schools that are out in these areas. So you won't catch me down here. But if that's your lifestyle, this is exactly where you want to be. I can rag it and say I would never live there, but yet people are like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want, right? And so by me being honest about it, now I've just separated myself to have 2 different clients. And so that's what I'm doing with cities. And that's what I understand early on after I did my story of moving to Portland, Oregon, was that's what people freaking want, is honesty and your stories. And so now when I travel to any city, doesn't matter, it takes me 2 days. I can shoot 20 videos in those 2 days, and they're going to get a lot of business. They're going to outrank other videos. And now we start getting into this ranking and unranking and competition and SEO and TubeBuddies. At the end of the day, especially for real estate, there's zero competition at the end of the day. There's a couple videos out there. All you have to do is look and see which ones are getting the most views. Lead coming in, phone rang, should have turned it off, just like I said. And now you just have to produce a better video, right? And that's the one thing I've learned. The keywords are the cities and the suburbs. Beaverton, Oregon. I want to own that keyword. I'm going to go vlog it, or I'm going to do a 15-minute video about what it's like to live there. I'm going to show you the map. I'm going to tell you the different areas of just Beaverton. Tualatin, Oregon, Hillsboro. So I did it for Houston. I've done it for North Idaho, Seattle, Washington, Reno, Montana. I've been all over, and that's what I do. People are searching this stuff, and as real estate agents are so narrow-minded, focused on a 3-bed, 2-bath house, that's here today, gone tomorrow, and people don't care about that. We're above the funnel, right? The success came when I understood people are moving there. They have no idea where they even want to live. They could give 2 shits about the house. Like, they don't even care about that right now. All they're thinking about is, oh my gosh, where am I moving? And if you have moved before, especially with family and kiddos, and not even that, just single. What do? You spend weeks, if not months, if not years preparing for it and researching, and you will watch anything and read anything. And as real estate agents, we take it for granted that we have nothing to say. That's BS. You've lived in these areas, or even if you're brand new, drive through it, tell people what you see, what you like, what you don't like. That is what's working. So the success came now. I started realizing people don't care about a restaurant, right? And Gary Vee says, well, you just go hit all the restaurant owners and then you get into their sphere. Well, the restaurant owners, unfortunately, and I'm not being a jackwagon, but especially through COVID, who got hit the worst? The service industry. Restaurants are shutting. They don't have any money. They're not buying houses. And I gave out boxes of cards. It's like they're so thankful for you that day, and 2 days later, they got so much crap going on in their life, and their restaurant's not going, whatever. They forget about it, and they probably have 15 other realtors' business cards in there because that's what we're told to do. So it's going to waste your time, right? And then when it comes to listing videos, property videos, those are videos you do not want to do on your YouTube channel. Ain't nobody searching 18976 West Songbird Lane in Roanoke, Virginia, right? It just doesn't happen. And that's what we do. We go down. I had an agent that I coached up. He had 500 videos on his YouTube channels, and he had 11 subscribers. And those 11 were friends, family, moms, probably his dog. That is it. 500 videos, and he had 11 subscribers, and it was all property tours. That's what he was taught to do, and he's like, I'm going all in on it. Well, unfortunately, 5 years of that was pretty brutal. We have a competitor in our Portland market. He's been doing videos for 4.5, 5 years. He's got twice as many videos as our Portland channel. And he has about 330 subscribers right now. And he goes 2 videos a week. He's been doing it for 5 years, and it's all Portland real estate. real estate market videos don't work. And even in TubeBuddy and some of these things, and I'm being honest because sometimes you'll get the keywords, you'll go through the TubeBuddy and it says it's a great one. It's not, right? ISDs, independent school districts, counties. People look at that search and like, oh my gosh, the counties get incredible search. The schools get incredible search. If the county's getting a lot of search, that's local people or people trying to find where the county office is. It has nothing to, tell me right now, I'm from North Idaho. If you're from North Idaho, you're a cheater. But tell me the three major counties that are in that area. Would you even know? No, you're going to move to North Idaho. You've probably heard of Coeur d'Alene, maybe, and that's what you're going to search. And from there, you have no idea about Athol, Idaho, about Spirit Lake, Idaho, about Hayden, Idaho, about Post Falls, Idaho. It's Kootenai County. It's Bonner County. It's Boundary County. Like, these are the huge counties up there that you've never heard of, but yet real estate agents see that and they like, I got to do a county video. Nobody knows counties. You got to just go in the paint about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live in your area. So now, looking at these and the scalability now, right? So I realized early on, and I'm not making it up, I shot hundreds of videos about restaurants, shops, bars. I did all the open house videos. I did the property tours. I've done all those videos we're told to do in real estate, and that people are still coaching and teaching, that they're saying, you have to go out and do this video. And I go and look and they don't even have a real estate YouTube channel. I'm like, I feel bad for you guys now. But honestly, to see hundreds and hundreds of living in channels across the nation, that's obviously something we invented, was living in Portland, Oregon. We had our YouTube channel name. It was just my name at first, and then we moved it to the Real Agent Now group with Jesse Dow and Jackson Wilkie. Again, it wasn't searched. One day I'm like, man, I'm really getting into this SEO and ranking and channel tags and all that. So I'm like, man, if I name my YouTube channel Living in Portland, Oregon, I wonder if that'll help. It should. Boom, I did that. It helped all of our videos rank. And now if you search Living in Portland, Oregon, which gets searched thousands and thousands of times a month on YouTube, boom, there's our YouTube channel. And that is also now what's getting fed out to people. And if they're not even, searching on YouTube, but other platforms, search engines, they're searching things about YouTube. Well, what's its goal? Get people to the platform. So that SEO is very important. It knows that my videos are really long. They're 15, 20, 25, even 35 minutes. And I'm keeping people on the platform for an average of 12 and even 14, 15 minutes per video. I have average view durations that are twice as long as my competitors' videos are in total. So what do you think YouTube's going to do? Give theirs out or mine? And that's how I can slide up and rank. Yes, SEO, those TubeBuddy scores, they do help. But at the end of the day, it's a you problem. If you're not ranking, your video isn't good. And the only way to get better, you got to shoot hundreds of videos. You just got to shoot a lot of videos. They don't take your birthday away if you shoot a bad video. It may not rank, but they're never going to take your birthday away, all right? So just shoot these videos. And that's the one thing that I've been, fortunate enough, is that I don't care about, the videos. And even these videos that I shoot here, I don't even know which ones are coming out. I delegate. I have teams doing it. I trust in the editor. If there's little mistakes, I don't even care, because at the end of the day, you're here to hear these stories. You're here to learn about YouTube for real estate. And this is only half the battle. You think about moving to a new city, new state across the country with your family, with your husband, wife, or your two kids, or whatever it is. You're going to go into a lot more frantic and panic than you will just trying to learn YouTube for real estate. So the more honest you are, the less production, the closer you get into that camera, the more stories you tell, and the more that you provide that, hey, this is exactly what we do. We help you move and relocate here. That's the only thing you got to do is, what I say is usually, we take care of everything. We figure out the lifestyle, find the house, we do everything. But the only way that we can help, you got to reach out, right? You just have to worry about getting here. We'll take care of the rest. Boom, the phone's exploding. It's erupting. And the other cool thing is, my success story is, I learned early on, real estate was not my gig. I just didn't enjoy it. I could have never been a listing agent telling bad news. I'm like the nicest dude. I just always want positive news. So I'd have been more of a buyer's agent anyways. But even that, I didn't like preparing the home sales and the home tours. And listen to me, I barely even know anything about real estate, but I learned early on that wasn't my thing. But if I can bring in the business and split it, these commission checks, they're not full. That's 25% of the commission. So that $8,000 checks, we're selling multi-million-dollar homes from doctors, lawyers, professional athletes. We're doing luxury every day in every market, because all they want to do is work with Jackson Wilkie. They don't give a shit about who's been in for 25 years or 35 years or who's the luxury. And so as we try and brand ourselves as a realtor, you're going away from branding yourself. This is a world where everybody wants to work with people they want to work with, right? And so you gravitate towards people and you just want to work with them. I might annoy the hell out of you in YouTube for real estate and you don't want to work with me. I've had people comment all the time, but there's also a lot of people that listen to me. They're like, dude, I just like resonate with Jackson and the channel junkies and Jesse, and I just want to be a part of them, right? You guys don't even know, I'm just into my second year of real estate, and neither do my clients. I've never once been asked, hey, how long you been in real estate? They don't care. They're just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I can't wait to freaking work with you. That is it. I'm luxury. I'm move-up home buyer. I'm first-time home buyer. I'm everything buyer. But it's all people that want to work with me, and most importantly, it's all people I want to work with, the dream client. So the success obviously is in the numbers. We all want monetary, but for me personally, the success was I'm a blue collar guy. I've worked, journeyman lineman, ranch hand, for 10 plus years working on a ranch. I was a logger, and I worked from 4:30 to 5 in the afternoon every day, clock in, clock out, union type stuff. Now I wake up when I want. I take care of my kids. I shoot videos, and I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars and scaling and growing every year in just my second year of real estate. So at the end of the day, the message comes. You hear me talking, there's going to be no edits on this. It's just straight up, this is my story, and I love it, right? I know exactly what I'm talking about. So your success story is going to boil down talking about what you know. If you've been doing new construction, then you need to do that. But you really have to put the keywords in of your city, right? If you're in Phoenix, Arizona, really leverage that. You're not going to get millions of views and subscribe. And that's the other thing people lead with is how many views and how many subscribers they got. Go and look at their business, or even if they have a YouTube channel, right, for real estate. So I don't ever lead with subscribers because I don't care about that. I lead with checks. Like, that's the success story. So you got to understand that you need to talk about things. You need to talk about things that you can talk about all day. If you've been doing the new construction sales for a year, you know so much about it, but put the keywords of Phoenix, Arizona, or your city in there and tell people, hey, if you're moving here, you think a builder's really going to have your best interest? I was a sales rep for him for a while, and so the builder wants to make as much money as possible. So using me is the same cost. It doesn't cost you anything, yet I'm going to negotiate in your closing costs, get those extra appliances, get the custom finishes, right? I can go to bat, and I have such a good relationship with these builders. We can get you in and get all that stuff. They're not going to do that for you. I will, right? But new construction, if it's luxury, if it's move-up home buyers, if it's investments. People talk about investments all the time. Huge platform for it. But don't just do general how to invest in real estate, because you'll never rank for that, and it doesn't help you, right? You need to do how to invest in real estate in your market. And those videos we've done a couple times because Jesse's really smart at that. I'm not. I told Jesse, I'm like, we need to do these videos. They're probably not going to get the most views. In fact, they'll have some of our least amount because they don't get searched as much, but it's going to be very direct. And we've only got a couple hundred views on those, but we've picked up some investors that have not only bought like 1 or 2 homes, but up to 5 homes. So you can get that one investor client. And as you know, with investing, that can go a long way. So do those videos if you can talk about it, but don't just go, here's the 5 perfect ways to invest. You open that video and go, I've helped people invest in this market here in Houston, Texas, and I've seen some people lose $100,000, and I've seen people make $100,000. So I know some of the biggest mistakes that come in investing. I've made mistakes myself. Oh my gosh, they hurt. But in this video, I'm going to teach you the laws of Houston because it's different than anywhere else. I'm going to teach you those mistakes that I've made that have cost me clients thousands of dollars so that you don't make them. And with 2021 and COVID and delinquencies and forbearances, what do you truly need to know and look for? Is there investors out there with a nice house that they're just behind that you need to get in, that they'll gladly give you this house instead of you going out and trying to get into this buyer's market that's crazy right now? Those are the things you need to know about investing in Houston. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Now you're just gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's it. I don't care if you're Grant Cardone or Grant's, plumber. Like that dude who just said all that and invests. I don't care if you've been in investing for a month or 100 years, right? You just relate. He answered your question and he told you he's made mistakes. So the success came in me when I learned the cons really are what people want to know, right? And by telling the things that are going to catch you off guard and how to eliminate those things, or how to, maybe just accept them. Things you can do here in the South. You got mosquitoes, man. They eat you alive. I tell people, man, my wife, it looks like she plays goalie for a dart team. She, because she gets so many mosquito bites, we found out she's type O. So if you're type O, we found these things called thermocells. Everybody in the South knows about thermocell. It gets those mosquitoes away. You got to have those, right? I'm honest. I tell people about the mosquitoes. Whereas real estate agents are so scared to talk about the cons. I'll do videos straight about the cons. And guess what? Jackson, I've watched all those other realtors videos. You're so honest. I love your videos. I want to work with you, right? And that's also what gets my videos to outrank even my students in my own markets, because I'm doing longer videos. I'm being more honest. I'm doing storytelling, and I'm just keeping people on there. So if you've been watching me this long, you can tell it's just stories, and it's all making sense to you, and it's fitting you. You're like, Jesus, makes sense. Think about that when you're shooting videos for your YouTube channel. Just storytell. Tell people the good, the bad, the ugly, right? But tell them how they can overcome these things. So that's important to YouTube's success. The success will come, but it only comes if you shoot tons and tons of videos so that you can understand what your viewers, subscribers want. You can look into your analytics and your traffic source to see what the keywords are that are driving to your channel, and you hammer those keywords. So there's a lot to it. This channel teaches everything. We teach everything, and most importantly, we love partnering with agents too. At EXP, if you come join us, it's personal one-on-one coaching, monthly coaching, all of our stuff for free. That's why we're growing so fast. Now I get to personally work with you and unearth these stories that you can tell on YouTube so we can blow up your business. That information for contact, everything's down below. We got free webinar. We got it all. You know me, I give it all away for free. It's all down in the description below. But these videos that are popping up right now are going to help you grow your YouTube channel. Start clicking on those, and you'll be well on your way. Until the next video, we'll catch you later.